Hey everyone, you're watching another episode of Ash on Comics. My name's Ash, and here is today's comic. Batman Detective Comics, issue 1001. The Arkham Knight Rises. And apparently so the dogs. By Tomasi Walker Hennessy Fairbairn. I'm late on this. This is been out for a little while, and for whatever reason, I didn't review it. Well, here I am. Detective Comics is the best Batman book out. Tomasi's writing it. He did a killer first arc that had a little bit of controversy because I don't think, in my opinion, people appreciated what it was trying to do. But solid writing. You're not getting any fluffier. You're not getting any low-T Batman. You're not getting Batman sitting here whining and moaning about his feelings. You're not getting a writer who's trying to, use the book as therapy. This is a guy who's a veteran Batman writer who's writing fun adventure Batman comics. And the issue 1000 was kind of a big celebratory issue. It did have a Tomasi story that does lead into this. It is a prelude. You don't necessarily need it. This is the jumping on book, but why wouldn't you get Detective 1000? It's a great celebratory book. And I was complaining about Detective 1000 being $2 more than Action Comics. And I wish I had physical copies here to show you, but I noticed when I was going through my boxes and organizing my books that the Detective Comics 1000 was almost twice as thick as the Action Comics 1000. Now, it's the same number of pages, but the materials, I think that's probably why it costs more to do a 100-page book of the higher quality paper and things like that than the thin, glossy paper that they used to use. So I'm going to give DC a little bit of pass about raising the price of the book, because before I was like, why would you do that? So here we are. There's some little controversy of this book, because apparently this is a character from the video game, Arkham Knight. I don't know. I didn't play the video games. So I don't know the character. And some people are like, it turned out to be this and that and whatever. And I was like, well, yeah, but that was the video game. That's a different continuity. Just because of what happened in the video game doesn't mean it'll happen here. Although it could. Let's find out. Let's dig into this book. Ooh, yay. So we start off. Now, this beginning part here with the silver boxes, this is sort of continuing the panels from Detective Comics 1000, the Tomasi short story. So if you've read that, it flows right into this. This is the Arkham Knight speaking. So it begins. Your months of training and your dedication have led you all to this moment. And then we see this is a floor. A moment of clarity where you each represent a ray of hope, a symbol. Symbols are woven into the fabric of this world, woven into its fragile tapestry between the battle of good and evil. People create symbols, raise them, stand behind them, follow them, become them. You have all left behind the darkness and embraced the light. You have flown into the blinding sun. Because that's where the truth is. You are now Knights of the Sun. Burn bright. Burn back the dark. The eclipse is upon us. So we see all these disciples, apparently, of the Arkham Knight. And now, this kind of took me by surprise. As you can notice, this is not Doug Mahnke art. I may be mispronouncing that name, and I apologize. And at first I was like, come on, really? The first issue of the actual ongoing run? And you don't have Doug Mahnke? But this is a really solid fill-in artist. At first I was disappointed, but as the book went on, I was like, I'm not minding this guy. He's getting close to being big time. So we see the scene here, and there's all these dead bats and Gordon's and kind of investigating. Hey, dog, go ahead. Just I'm shooting a video here. Go ahead and just drink. And Gordon's, trying to figure out what's going on. He's calling Batman. And he's like, we have a bat problem. So do I, Commissioner. Where's yours located? GC Park. All dead? Yep. Yours? Yeah. Bag me a few. In the process. Gordon out. I assume we've once again begun a long day's journey into night. That we have, Alfred. And then you see the bat caves just riddled with dead bats. That we have. And now Batman's doing an autopsy. And some people who love the Bat Detective, well, you're getting it. Batman's trying to figure out what's going on. He can't find a cause of death. And then elsewhere. Step forward. The first device is done. Time to shake Gotham from its slumber. Secure the device's location. Here comes the sun. And I gotta say, when I was reading this book, if you haven't read these books, I gotta tell you, the Batman Begins soundtrack flowed perfectly with this. Really, really helped amplify the mood and the emotions. And so Batman's visiting this chick who is related somehow to Man-Bat. Man-Bat's away. But that doesn't stop her from injecting herself with the Man-Bat serum. So I guess she becomes Woman-Bat? Man-Bat? Person-Bat? I don't know. What? I don't know. Okay, but whatever. She turns into Man-Bat. And it's now, though, as you're aware, kind of just seeing, something's killing all the bats, and it's now affecting Man-Bat, and you can see the ears bleeding here. So she can't help herself. She turns into Man-Bat. She's flying away, and Batman jumps on her and trying to take control, and he abuses the batarangs and lassos around her, and he's looking at him. He's just surfing her down, just on her back, standing. And it's a pretty cool scene, and he's trying to just avoid collateral damage, and hits a sign. He talks about property damage is a whole other issue. So that was just a cool, fun action scene, and he's like, Francine! She's locked onto something, flying with purpose, on a mission, and she's taking shortcuts right toward the Gotham Park Zoo and the Bat Safari exhibit. And she's screaming, help them! Exhibit cave littered with dead bats. So many dying, help me! Show me how, Francine. Tell me how! I really wish I could do the Christian Bale voice. Can't risk her becoming incoherent. So he miraculously has the vaccine, because Batman's always prepared. And he's trying to get her out of there. And then he contacts Alfred. Alfred, have the gyro lock on my position. I'm bringing boom. Now there should have been a big boom thing here, because you just see this. And it knocks him forward, and this is a cool scene. You're like, and Batman looks in the distance. Oh, God. When Batman's saying stuff like that, something's bad. Alfred, check our satellite for seismic force and blast damage radius. There are no casualties or actual explosive detonations. Only an intense, powerful light was ignited. At this moment, it seems to be self-generating in the lower atmosphere after the concussive wave. Someone just created a small sun over Gotham. It appears so, sir. So then Batman does the same, contact, EMS, blah, blah, blah. And he's trying to get away, and something snaps his line. Line cut. Almost impossible to do. But I'll worry about that later. Burn bright, burn back the dark. And we see these soldiers of the sun, Knights of the Sun, I'm not sure what you call them. Knights with a 21st century bit. Their arrows are penetrating my suit, and their armor is deflecting my weapons. Not good. If their intent is to bring down the house, better make sure it's on them and not me. And here, Rule number 1 of comic books: have action. Superheroes demand action scenes. Now, you can get away with occasionally having comics where there's just downtime and talking, like Hawkman number 8. Because you did 7 issues of action and fun adventure, then you could afford to get away. That's a perfect example. But what you can't do is what a lot of these postmodern comics do, and just have people just sitting around chatting about their feelings for issue after issue after issue. Look, there's a place for that, right? And I enjoy a good character drama as much as anyone. But comics are about superheroes doing high adventure and fantastic things. So here we have 2 big action scenes so far in this book. Batman's trying to get away a few seconds in some distance. Gets shot. Then I took an arrow to the knee. I had to put the Elder Scrolls joke in there. Driven, disciplined, dangerous. So Batman's fighting these guys, and you get a lot of just really good action scenes as Batman's just taking shots after shot. He's getting riddled with arrows. You're just like, oh, damn, what's happening to our hero? Meanwhile, in the shadows, Arkham Knight just watches. That's just like such an ominous villain to send his henchmen in while he stands back as the hero gets beat down. Get them away from the bystanders. Draw these knights all closer to me. And then all of a sudden, shield bounces off, bounces back Batman. You don't see this happen very often, where Batman gets a taste of his own medicine, just poof, and he's like, A new day dawns in Gotham, Batman. It's time for the shadows to start running from themselves. Dun, dun, dun. Next, Arkham Knight standoff. Now this is a great first issue. It's not deep, right? It doesn't have the emotional power of the first 2 issues of the first arc that Tomasi did so far, but this is just like get you right in the action, introduce the character. We set up his motive in Detective Comics 1000 with the little short story bits. And now we have him standing on top of a defeated Batman. And, Batman always wins, right? But he's not. And that's it. That's the end of the issue. So, yeah. Can't recommend this. I knew it was going to be good. I have faith. I mean, I've these 6 issues so far of Tomasi. 6 full issues, that is. And I've read other Tomasi books. The guy just knows how to write. He understands Batman. I have all the faith in the world. And I really like this character so far. I don't know shit about him. But what I'm liking is he feels like the movie version of Bane. And I know some people don't like Dark Knight Rises. I love Dark Knight Rises. I love that version of Bane. I know it's not like the comic version, but I appreciated that they molded him to kind of fit this movie verse. That he was part of the League of Shadows. Spoilers. He was a different Bane, but he was a cool type of villain. And it actually made more sense. Bane was always kind of shallow. I like Bane, but he was kind of a shallow character. Christopher Nolan put more layers. And I just liked what they came up with. This sort of more of an architect rather than just a big brute. So this character the reason I'm saying that is this character seems to fill that void. He is a powerhouse. He can take Batman on one-on-one. Right? But he's an architect. He's a thinker. He's not just a brute. And the way he talks about his ideology and things like that reminds me of how that Bane was. So I don't want to see Bane in the comics mutated to fit the movie. Like, Bane should still be the Bane that was created in the comics. That's fine. But now that there's room for that type of character, this guy can fill the void. Hopefully, he's a cool character, and we'll see. So, almost 15 minutes. I'm going to wrap this up before it ticks. Thanks for watching. Do all the things you're supposed to do, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. It's another JL8 webcomic, number 20 by Yale Stewart. Welcome back, everyone. Wow, now that you're back from gym, it's nap time, please. Mr. Swartz, please let it be nap time. Please.